If somebody has a terminal cancer and they're urine vaccinating once a day, they will live on.
Wow.
They will live on. You don't have to do medical supervision. What we do is we teach people how to do it so they can do it at home. What you're doing is you're taking all of those antigens, you know, right, or it's antigens, I think, is the response to the antibodies that come out in your urine, and then as soon as you inject that back into you, especially it's into your fat tissue, it has to go into your fat tissue, like in your butt. What happens is your body goes, oh, that's what we're dealing with. It tightens the feedback loop. By the way, the most powerful vaccine of all.
I'm the wealthiest hippie on earth. I probably am. But I've made more money than most anybody's made in their life. Chocolate lines up planetarily with the sun. Chocolate is an octave of sun energy. It's the energy of the center of the sun. It's a male energy that comes down off the sun, and it actually, out of all the plants, the cacao is right on line, target of the center of the sun, which we call in our body the heart. And actually, cacao is right up with the center of the sun, which is the center of the heart, which is called the sacred heart. In terms of planetary alchemy, what you want to use to balance off the cacao, because it's an alchemical process, you need something that's coming up with the earth force, or we call it the ormus, an energy that moves out of the earth towards the sun. That's ormus. If you become loaded with ormus, all the cosmic energies come right into you, because it wants to mate with you. Mushroom spores have been found at every altitude of the earth, because they can levitate off the planet, because they're surrounded by a shell of ormus, which actually is trying to get to the center of the sun. Occasionally, it gets slingshotted right off the center of the sun and gets propelled out into the atmosphere, into the solar system, and then eventually gets slingshotted out across the galaxy, like the way we do our satellites. Again, gravity is not intrinsic to matter. That Carl Sagan idea that was sold to us on Cosmos, on PBS, was sold to us deliberately to actually confuse us. And just so you know that, there's people who've known that gravity is a force that can be displaced. There's people who've known that since the 50s or even earlier than that. But by screwing up or confusing our mind about these things and giving us incorrect theories, we were brainwashed into a totally different belief system. That is, gravity is intrinsic to all matter. We're fighting gravity. We have to push our way through gravity to launch a craft up into outer space and all this nonsense.
You know, you can gauge someone's commitment to truth and justice and beauty and love by their openness to flat Earth.
Londonium is actually 12 feet below the city of London. Why is it down there? How come it's not up there? Or how come it's not at the same level as us? And the reason is because the Earth is growing. The reason why the oceans are salty is that's what's needed to hold the water onto the Earth. If that didn't happen, the water would levitate right off the Earth. That'd be the end of it.
You know, you don't learn about the kumbhaka. You don't learn about the systems of breathing, the yoga pranayamas that can get you to breatharianism, where you can take one breath an hour. That book teaches it.
Nothing extends life longer than charcoal.
3.5 hours of inversions a day will cure you of anything and turn you into an immortal.
I'm not into doctors and hospital.
If we run deficient in earth energy, then our thyroid starts going, whoa, something's wrong here. One of the things that the yogis recommended is that you get your neck right flat on the ground so you can touch the electricity of the earth right there to your neck so you can get those electrons flowing right into your thyroid. That it's actually been found if you ground yourself to the earth, you have got to cut your thyroid medication. Got a cool little gadget.
Wow.
To introduce, boom, the longevity Zapper.
Is a wonky little taser trinket. He claims that this cheap chunk of plastic targets negative bacteria, and he's hawking it for $400. Good God. Wolfe alludes to the claim that it cures cancer and increases your lifespan while simultaneously admitting for legal purposes that it doesn't. Here's another one, Ormus Gold. It's marketed as a potential miracle cure that, according to testimonials, may even possess anti-aging characteristics.
Native Americans were deer eaters, not cow eaters. Deer eaters have a different consciousness than a cow eater. A deer eater is actually more into consciousness in the stars, in the heavens, more in the ethereal realms. A cow eater is like, we're here.
Deer antler is not a product. It's a cosmic substance. And it's an androgenic substance, by the way, very androgenic, and it needs to be taken with respect and understanding. And while we've been getting into this whole thing about estrogenic forces and then androgenic forces, you got to know that, hey, like, deer antler is an androgenic force. And then why? Because it's cosmic in nature. It's elevating. It's levitational in its nature. which actually it makes you younger. Forces of levity make you younger. That's what it's indicating, is that energies are flowing into the cosmos or flowing out of the earth and up, and they're being concentrated in certain substances, like a deer's antler. So when you take a deer antler product, that's not some joke. That's not some like, oh, we're taking this supplement now. That's a very deeply intuitive read that many, many sages in the history of our planet tuned into, and were like, that's where the prana is concentrated, right there.
Longevity Warehouse. I don't sell colostrum or placenta. I never have and don't consume them either. I've sold deer antler on occasion, as long as I felt the deer were allowed to live free and healthy. So we go to a Longevity Warehouse. His picture plastered all over it. This is Daivd Wolfe's Longevity Warehouse. Daivd Wolfe's pics. Daivd Wolfe, Daivd Wolfe, Daivd Wolfe, Daivd Wolfe. And now, he doesn't have to own this company, right? He doesn't have to own it, Daivd Wolfe again. And he says here, we'll go back to this. So there's actually legal loopholes where he can say, I don't actually own the company. I'm not even an employee of the company. And I don't have any vested interest in this company at all. But yet my name is plastered all over their website. And I don't have any, financial interest in the company. Go back to this photo. I don't sell colostrum or placenta. I never have and don't consume them either. So technically, legally speaking, he's actually telling you the truth. He's telling you the truth, but in a fucked up way. So this is how guys can legally get around it. So he doesn't own Longevity Warehouse. He might be the sole advisor getting huge amounts of payouts from it. And so that's how he can get it. But obviously you can see here an ad for try our creamy 6-hour colostrum. I don't think that I want to. So placenta. Sure enough, Longevity Warehouse. Deer placenta. Antler. Search antler, deer antler. So deer antler drops. Immortal velvet deer antler gold. Antler silver. More bullshit. More deer placenta showed up again. Alright, so this is basically, I don't sell colostrum either, so we type in colostrum. Fuck, Longevity Warehouse sure fucking sells their colostrum here. But, legally speaking, he doesn't sell it. Legally speaking, he doesn't sell it. So this is how this huckster Daivd Wolfe, gets around it. This is how he gets around it. He can be an advisor for Longevity Warehouse. He can get massive payouts from them. He can contract his time, he can make up numbers. Oh, I charge $1,000 an hour for my services to Longevity Warehouse. He can do that legally. He can do that. No problem. Why I'm not a millionaire. So this is a post that he posted back in January of 2012.
I'm the wealthiest hippie on earth. I probably am. But I've made more money than most anybody's made in their life.
I'll come to you like an affliction, but I'll leave you like an addiction. You'll never forget me. You wanna know why?